Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Pinky Science Academy, Biology Paper 2, Revision Questions and Answers. Please like, subscribe and comment. So the first question you given the diagram below shows the gas exchange site between circulatory system and the body cells. So here you have the gas exchange site, you have tissue fluid, a C and then B and then that is flow of blood and then the body cells. Then you are asked to state two adaptations of the capillaries. Their walls are made of endothelium only, which allows only part of the blood to move into intracellular space. Then they have narrow lumen to maintain a high blood pressure. They are numerous to increase surface area for exchange of materials. Name the blood cells labeled B. The blood cells labeled B here, it's the red blood cells. State the gas that diffuses from B to the tissue. Of course, from B, from the red blood cell to the tissue, that is oxygen gas, and if it's from the tissue to B, that is carbon dioxide. State two functions of the part labeled A. Not adaptation but the functions of part labeled A. Part labeled A is the plasma, which is the liquid part of the blood. It will transport the food nutrients, the metabolic waste, the antibodies, and also distributes heat. Name the blood vessel with the highest concentration of oxygen. That's pulmonary vein. Highest concentration of urea, hepatic vein. Then the diagram below shows how glucose in mammalian body is regulated. You see, when there is rise in glucose concentration, the pancreas secretes hormone X so that the glucose concentration falls. And then when there is less, when the normal glucose falls, there is less hormone X secreted, and therefore glucose rises. So here the body is trying to regulate the amount of glucose in the blood at a given time. So you are asked to name hormone X and Y. Hormone X, that is the one that is produced when the glucose level rises above normal. That hormone is insulin. And Y, the hormone that is produced when glucose level falls below normal, that is hormone glucagon. Remember, insulin is released when the blood sugar level rises above normal so that it lowers it, while glucagon is produced when glucose level is below normal to raise the blood glucose level. State two ways by which hormone X lowers glucose level in the blood when it rises above normal. That is insulin. It stimulates conversion of glucose into glycogen, and also it helps in oxidation of glucose to release energy. So that is making sure that glucose is used up. And also some of the glucose is converted into glycogen for storage. Name the organ that produces hormone Y. Both glucagon and insulin, they are produced by specialized cells in the pancreas known as the islets of Langerhans. So the organ is the pancreas. Suppose there is a deficiency of hormone X, state the disease the person would suffer from. The person would suffer from diabetes mellitus. Explain how the disease mentioned above can be controlled. Diabetes mellitus, you just inject yourselves with a controlled amount of insulin. Also, you can have exercise, regular exercise, and also you regulate the diet that you take by avoiding taking food that has a lot of sugars in it. That will help you regulate your glucose level. In human beings, the downward pointed frontal hairline, that is widow's peak, is a heritable trait. A person with widow's peak Windows Peak always has at least one parent who has this trait, whereas persons with the frontal hairline may occur in many families in which even both parents have Windows Peak. Using letter B to symbolize genes for this trait, determine the F1 generation if a homozygous Windows Peak male parent is married to a homozygous frontal hairline female parent. So you look at the parental phenotype and genotype. Parental phenotype, the mother has what? Windows Peak, while the father has frontal hairline. So frontal hairline is for the female, and the father has Windows Peak. So this one will be dominant, the father, and then the female will be recessive with the frontal hairline. So you write the parental genotype. Parental genotype is BB. Gametes, this one, and you always circle the gametes, and then you carry out crossing. So you'll have BB. All of them will be heterozygous. State 2 causes of variation. So during gamete formation, there is independent assortment of genes, and then closing over is another cause of variation, fertilization, and also mutation. Name 2 examples of discontinuous variation. So variation can be continuous or discontinuous. For continuous variation, there are distinct categories, but these discontinuous variation, there are no in-between categories. For example, tongue rolling, sex, ABO blood group system, free earlobe and attached earlobe, and also in the pawpaw plant, there is male and female. Then the next question, you are told that the drawing represents a mature mold or rhizopus. Study it and answer the questions that follow. Name the structures labeled A, B, and C. A is a sporangium, B is a spore, and C is the rhizoid. Then you are told to identify the type of asexual reproduction represented in the diagram. The type of asexual reproduction represented here is sporulation or spore formation. Give one function of the structure labeled C. Structure labeled C, it's for absorption of water and mineral salts from the decaying material. Define the term fertilization. It is the process by which the male and female gamete fuse to form a diploid zygote. Compare an ovum and a zygote. An ovum is haploid. It has half the number of chromosomes. A zygote is diploid. It has twice the number of chromosomes as an ovum. An ovum has lower mass, a zygote has a higher mass. The diagram below represents different types of. The diagram below shows 3 different types of neurons along a reflex axis. So identify the neurons labeled 1, 2, and 3. So this neuron 1, it's the sensory neuron. This it's relay neuron, and this one is motor neuron. The 3 neurons are, you can differentiate them depending on the location of the location of the cell body. So you identify this as the sensory neuron because you can see where the cell body is located, and this one is motor neuron because of where the cell body is also located. So you are asked using arrows to show the direction of impulse transmission on the diagram. So the impulse transmission goes like that. So it normally goes from the sensory to relay neuron and then to motor neuron. So name the part of the spinal cord where the cell bodies of neuron 1 and 2 and 3 are located. Neuron 2, and 3. This is motor neuron and relay neuron. Their neurons are located on the gray matter. Describe the transmission of an impulse across the part labeled P. The impulse reaching the dendrite of the relay neuron causes the synaptic vesicle to release acetylcholine that diffuses across the cleft and causes depolarization of the motor neuron. So that is part P. It's the synapse. So impulse reaching the dendrite end of the relay neuron causes the synaptic vesicle to release acetylcholine, which diffuses across the cleft and causes depolarization of the motor neuron. During germination and growth of cereal, dry weight of endosperm and embryo and total dry weight were determined at 2-day intervals, and the results recorded as in the table below. So you are given those results there, and then you are told, using the same axis, draw the graph of dry weight of endosperm, embryo and total dry weight against time. So in your graph, it will be weight of the embryo, endosperm, against time in days. So when you draw your graph should look like this. Time in days, you can use this scale of 1:2, 2:1, 2 boxes to represent 2, or it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then for this one small box to represent 5, or even you can use one small box to represent 10, depending on what you will choose. But your graph should be like that. So again, make sure you label your y-axis and x-axis. We go to the questions. You are asked, what was the total dry weight on day 5? Day 5, you'll just come here to your graph. Day 4 is here, so day 5 is here. So you'll move until you get the graph of total dry weight. The graph of total dry weight is there, so you move across. So you'll get it's about 37 grams. That is the weight, about 37 grams or 38.5 grams. So it's plus or minus 0.5. Then you are supposed to account for decrease in dry weight from day 0 to day 10. So from day 0 to day 10, there is decrease in dry weight of the endosperm. Dry weight of the endosperm is this graph. From day 0, it has decreased up to day 10 continuously. That is because of hydrolysis of starch into simple sugars or glucose, which are translocated to the embryo. Then there is oxidation or respiration of simple sugars to the embryo because of heat and water vapor. Then increase in dry weight from day 0 to day 10 of the embryo. So you go back to your graph and see weight of the embryo has increased continuously from day 0 to day 10. Why? It's because there are new cells or tissues or materials that are being synthesized to bring about growth of the embryo. Then decrease in total dry weight from day 0 to day 8. So the reason as to why there is decrease in total dry weight, it's because the rate of respiration is higher or faster than the synthesis of materials for growth. Increase in total dry weight after day 8. Increase in total dry weight after day 8. That is, here it is increasing. The reason is because the rate of the new cells or tissue or materials are synthesized to bring about growth of the embryo. to bring about growth of the embryo. Why is there is decrease in total weight from day 0 to day 8? You find that the rate of respiration is faster than the synthesis of materials for growth. Why there is increase in total weight, dry weight after day 8? The first reef carried out photosynthesis leading to growth. State 2 factors within the seed and outside the seed that causes dormancy. Dormancy within the seed, there is presence of abscisic acid, presence of germination inhibitors, and embryo was not fully developed, or there was an immature embryo. Outside the seed could be absence of hormones or enzymes that stimulate germination, impermeable seed coat, presence of enzyme inhibitors, and also unsuitable temperature. Give 2 characteristics of meristematic cells. They have dense cytoplasm, thin walls, and also absence of vacuoles. Lastly, you've been told to discuss abiotic factors that affect plants. Abiotic factors are non-living factors that affect plants. The first one, wind. So windy conditions increases transpiration. Of course, the higher the speed of wind, the higher the rate of transpiration. And also, weed disperse fruits, seeds, and spores. So it's an agent of pollination. For temperature, change in temperature affects the rate of photosynthesis because it's enzyme controlled. So increase in temperature also increases the rate of transpiration. For light, plants need light to photosynthesize. So some plants need it for flowering. So some seeds such as lettuce need it for germination. Humidity. When humidity is low, the rate of transpiration increases. Humidity is a measure of the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. So when the humidity is low, the rate of transpiration increases. Salinity. Plants with salt-tolerant tissues, e.g. mangrove, that grow in saline areas. Plants in estuary adjust to the salt fluctuations. Topography. You find topography is the slope of the land. So plants with growing in slopes of temperate lands, they are more plants than south-facing slopes. Windward side plants, they have stunted growth and distorted growth. Then for rainfall, few plants in dry areas where rainfall is less. So water is needed for germination, for photosynthesis, and as a solvent for turgidity, and also for dispersal. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. See you in the next video. Bye.